Hey guys, Sublord here, back in with another action figure review. Today we'll be taking a look at the DC Multiverse Hush Batman. This is the blue and gray version of Hush Batman, brought to us by the fine folks over at McFarlane Toys, who, I'm afraid to say, are not so fine folks in this instance, because this figure, of course, utilizes the Year 2 Batman body. And do I need to say anything else about the Year 2 Batman body other than I'm sick of it? Its articulation sucks. It's either too loose or doesn't move enough, even though there's really no excuse for it. And it's oversized, unless you put it with the mega figures like Clayface, Bane, Man-Bat, one of those guys. So hopefully this review is going to be short and sweet, and hopefully not so ranty, but we shall see. That said, as far as accessories for this figure goes, he's got a pair of alternate hands. He's got kind of a closed grip hand and an open grip hand. That's nice, I guess. He's got two batarangs. If I can get a hold of them here. There we go. Woo! Two batarangs. Fine, I guess. It's the same gosh darn thing. And then, of course, last but certainly not least, got a collectible trading card with a bio on the back that you can pause and not have to read. Wow, I already showed the back first, didn't I? Whoops! Not sure how that happened. Hopefully this is still Hush Batman. We'll find out, won't we? We'll do it live. We'll do this together. Let's see if this is indeed Hush Batman, or if I screwed up and grabbed the wrong card.
Batman TN, Hush TN, data file, real name, Bruce Wayne. As a child, Bruce Wayne TN watched as his parents were brutally killed in Gotham City's crime alley. Traumatized by their deaths, he devoted his life to becoming the world's greatest weapon against crime, the Batman. To become the ultimate vigilante, the Dark Knight TM disciplined his mind and body to reach the pinnacle of mental and physical superiority in his relentless pursuit of justice. DC Multiverse. Data Flelane, the Darren Sodes Batman. Data file. So a child.
Shut up. Stupid thing. So yeah, I did grab the right card. I wish my phone shut its hole, but there you go. That said, since we're not doing articulation in this video, you know, I guess we can have a little bit of extended conversation about other things. So Hockey Puck display stand we're used to seeing with all McFarlane Toys releases. And then here's Hush Batman. First of all, neck articulation is better than that Spawn 2-pack one. You can actually turn his head. So that's nice. I do think it's nice they gave him the kryptonite ring on his hand there. Again, I'm not really going to go over articulation, but I am going to point out a couple of things. The torso on mine was a little loose initially. Still kind of is, but it's not nearly as bad. I did kind of heat and pop it and put it back together myself, and it's better. But the range is still garbage. This cape is a bit heavy, but not terrible. It will get out of its own way. It is a little heavy, but not terrible. And I guess this is the same cape that the Vampire Batman uses from Wally World there, so that's cool. I guess I kind of like that it does swoosh in front of his legs a little bit. That way you can kind of turn him this way, have him look down kind of stoic and imposing and whatnot. Like, this figure on its own, I don't hate it, but I don't need to see this body used a ton. Like, I want to see this body used a ton. This is a far superior figure, and if I could only get this hand on this figure, then why would you even need this? You just need maybe a little bit darker colors and shorter ears, maybe, because this guy's got really stumpy ears. This guy's a little longer. And this figure is just ultimately better, in my opinion. I wish they'd use that body more. especially since in that Spawn 2-pack, Batman like almost dwarfed Spawn, and that's just not the case. That said, the ankles on this particular figure are not horrible, but they're not great either. They still could be better. They could be tighter. They could have more not joints, but points in them so that they hold a little better. But for the most part, I can get this figure to stand okay, I guess, as I struggle to get him to stand. Plus side, he doesn't have those stupid sculpted ankles that I'm also, honestly, not a fan of. Because those are, in my experience, loose. Like, a lot. So, not great. That said, my trick to standing these figures, you bend the top knee joint once. And there you go. He will have to lean against my review set a bit, but he is standing. The toe joints on this guy, not horrible, not great, but they do work. Speaking of Wally World, shout out to I think it was the Wally World closest to my house, which no, does not get the gold label figures, gotta go to the one near the highway for that. But they actually had this guy, which is weird because most of the stuff they have is like old as dirt. So yeah, that is Hush Batman. It's, you know, the 3 Jokers skeleton with the Year 2 Batman sculpt on there. I've heard that some people would have preferred he had the treads on the feet. Maybe the 3 Jokers' feet would have been better for this guy, but I don't know, man. I've never been a fan of this body. I think it's kind of mid at best. The anatomy isn't terrible. The sculpt isn't bad. But I just think it's dated compared to figures that predate it, you know? I just think they need to just switch that Nightfall Batman already. Like, quit bullshitaki-ing us, alright? Like, don't give me your crap with the whole whatever. Like, that figure was dang near perfect. Didn't have the Cliffs of Dover anywhere. Looked pretty decent anatomy-wise. Maybe could have been a little buffer. But, you know, as far as a basic Batman, yeah, the Nightfall one kicks the crap out of this one. So with that being said, let's move right along and take a look at some size comparisons. First up, here is our Dark Knight, the Batman, from Hush, alongside a couple other characters who made an appearance in Hush, like Hush himself, which, not the best figure ever. I mean, you know, he's missing a couple of things. Guns! But he does come with those knives there. And then we have the closest thing to Hush Superman I have. This is the, they call it Action Comics Superman, but this is clearly like Superman Comics series Superman. But he uses the same body as Hush. Not even has the same cape, I'm not sure. But you could tell that the main problem here is that Superman is too darn short. I mean, look at him. He's dwarfed by this Batman. Insane that they screwed that up, because isn't Superman taller than Like, isn't Wonder Woman even taller than Batman? Sometimes. Depends. I mean, she is an Amazon, so she should be taller than the average Joe, but I know Batman's kind of like peak physical condition compared to the average Joe. But still, he's not a super tall guy, right? He's like 6 foot tops, maybe? But moving these two out of the way. Of course, would not be one of my videos without Mythic Legion's Brother Mandibulus. So hopefully gonna fit despite Batman's cape here. Alright. Kinda. And the infamous 11 Spawn, who is not towering over this Batman at all. I think Batman is a little taller than Spawn, so yeah. This Batman is literally in scale with almost nothing but Mega figures, so that's really the main issue I have with it. But you know, some people like it, and at the end of the day, to each their own, I guess. So with that being said, it's time now that we wrap things up. Some final thoughts. Overall, and I'm gonna stand by my previous comments about this figure and saying that yeah, it's just kind of average to mid at best, because I just don't like this body at all. This body literally feels like it was sculpted by a completely different human being than the Nightfall Batman. I just don't get why they keep using it. I don't understand it. It's dated. It doesn't pose as well. It's not as tight. It just has so many flaws that keep it from being as good as Nightfall Batman. It's too freaking big. Like, why do they keep using it? And I know somebody out there is going to be like, the Mafex Hush Batman is great. You should try that. Yeah, for like 80 bucks more, it should be better than a $20 figure. But at the end of the day, this guy, 20 bucks. I can kind of forgive it for being kind of mid to average at best. If I got the Mafex one and it had a bunch of issues, this would have been a 30-minute rant. So I'm hoping that at the end of the day, when the smoke clears and the dust settles and it's all said and done, that I kept this review short and sweet and hopefully painless, with the exception of my phone messing up. And yeah, that's my story, and I'm sticking to it because I hope they stop using this body eventually. I know they used it on the black and gray one, which if I can find it, I'll buy it. But as I mentioned in the Mr. Freeze video, I'm kind of getting sick of McFarlane Toys DC Multiverse line being super hard to collect. Too many exclusives, too many releases, just impossible to keep up or keep track. So with that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed this review. Until next time, I'll catch you guys later.